As the protests then against police brutality in France continue to rage, the government now has passed a controversial law giving police greater powers to literally open fire. RT's Charlotte Dubensky reports from Paris.
These new laws bring the powers of the police much more in line with the paramilitary gendarmerie here in France, which means that the police will now have the ability to shoot a suspect that is fleeing or a detainee, but only after they have given them 2 warnings. Now, it will also allow the officers who are on duty to shoot at vehicles as they're fleeing the scene or to try and stop a rampage killing. Now, these powers come at a time when France is seeing protests across the country, but particularly here in Paris, violent protests at time. Now, these protests have been ongoing for 2 weeks in the city, and they started following allegations of rape, that the police had raped a young man in the northern suburbs of Paris during what should have been a routine ID check. An investigation is underway into what happened in that evening in early February, and 4 officers are now facing charges they deny. But there are huge tensions here in Paris, and it's hoped that these powers will give the police more ability to be able to deal with some of the violent protests and riots that we've been witnessing over the last 2 weeks. Now, it's an interesting situation because the people in the immigrant communities where we've seen much of these riots and most of the violence are saying that they feel they're being targeted by the police. They describe the police as being racist and saying the police often target young men of ethnic minority backgrounds, whereas the police have said that they don't have the power to deal with some of the rioters and some of the violence that we've been seeing. So essentially, these powers are hoping to boost what the police can do to perhaps ease some of those tensions. But the migrants community say that this will only increase tensions. This is a very vicious circle, and it seems that both sides are blaming each other.